Let's just jump right into it. Deontay Wilder just had a fight, and he fought Terrell Herndon, and it was disgraceful. Terrell Herndon or Tyrell Herndon is a tomato can, a great value tomato soup can, and he just was in there to get paid. This is a glorified sparring match. Um, it was disgusting. But I think this did more harm than good for Deontay Wilder's career. I truly do. I think it did. I think that this just showed how poor of a boxer he truly is. He spent time away from the ring, and when he comes back, he has this kind of showing. He just looked terrible. And Deontay Wilder has never really been a technically sound boxer. He's really relied on, one thing, and that's that straight right hand. He is truly a one-trick pony. He's probably the greatest one-trick pony that ever lived because he's a historic boxer and he can really only do one thing well, and that is throw that straight right hand. It's just a powerful shot, probably one of the most powerful we've ever seen. And if I was a fighter fighting him, I don't know why more guys don't do this. I would try to get on the inside of him because he's terrible when you're close to him. He only has one punch. He's not going to throw a hook or uppercut. He just has one punch. So I don't know, but guys stay away, which gives him the advantage. I mean, he's long enough to keep you away. And keep in mind that Deontay Wilder, 6'7", long arms, reach, athletic, stamina, strength. He has all these attributes. So he'll be able to be in most fights just off of physical, God-given ability. But when it comes to a technically sound fighter, he's probably going to lose. A guy that can box is not afraid of him, he's probably going to lose the fight and probably get knocked out. He has very poor technique, very poor defense. His defense and offense are predicated by one punch, that straight right hand. I liken it to when insects are fighting a scorpion. It's not really the pinchers you're worried about, it's the stinger. So half of your game plan is to avoid the stinger. Now you can only devote half of your game plan to actually fighting a scorpion. Hope I said that right. So you have a game plan. Your game plan is really focused more on defense than it is on offense. So you're spending the majority of your time avoiding the scorpion stinger. It's the same way with fight Deontay Wilder. You're spending most of the fight avoiding that right hand. It's not really him, his boxing, it's what he can do. And so that's why he had so many knockouts in his fight, in his career. That's why it was hard to defeat him, because the majority of your fight is spent, avoiding that right hand. But I'm going to tell you when it all went downhill for Deontay Wilder. I'm going to tell you when the whole empire went crashing down. No, not that.
I set my shot up, and there it was. Towering over his body on the ground, seeing that his eyes rolling in the back of his head and the position that his body laid like a murder scene, it was over.
I was more worried about his health more than the fight. Ventilators, stretchers, blue lights, ambulance sirens, everything bad was going through my head.
Were you out?
Yeah.
I was gutted. My heart sank. I was gutted. He ain't getting up from that.
Doesn't move. It's over. But I think that's been Tyson Fury's life. Just when it looks like he's down and he ain't moving and it's over, he resurrects himself.
I had a dream before that fight. and I saw myself getting knocked down in it, and I saw myself getting back up.
It's not over till it's over. It's hard to beat somebody that doesn't want to quit.
That was the moment that Deontay Wilder's career was over. He hit somebody with that right hand and they got up. And I wish I had the clip where I could show you his face when Tyson Fury got up. The look on his face was like he couldn't believe it. You see him in the ring, he's dancing, blowing kisses, just having a great time. He said it's over. And when that man got up, Deontay Wilder never recovered. Because from that moment on, Deontay Wilder was getting beat. He lost the rest of that fight as far as that round to Tyson Fury. When he fought him again, he lost. And fought him again, he lost. And fought Robert Parker, I think, and lost. And he fought someone else. Like, he never recovered. I mean, this tomato can Tyrell Herndon doesn't count. But that's where his career ended. And the problem is that Deontay Wilder tried to rely on his talent. The Bible says that to whom much is given, that much more is required. So if you're blessed with these God-given gifts, that much more is required of you to be great, or at least to sustain your being great. And his training, I know somebody that said they used to go to his training and he would just punch. He'd be in the gym, going through his punch combinations, doing his bag work. Then he would leave and go hit the track, go do some sprints, 150s and 200s, then come back in the gym, hit the bag, go through his combos, do his routines, and then go back to the. So it was like he was working on his punching, going to the track, work on his punching, going to the track. Now I get it. If you're training somebody that isn't that savvy in the ring, he isn't probably a high IQ boxer, but he's athletic and he has a devastating punch. You try to tailor his training around what he can do well. I get it. But the problem is when he comes up against somebody that can neutralize all of that, because skill will always be able to neutralize your greatest asset. It's just how sports work. Whatever you're great at, skill and coaching will be able to neutralize that. And so Deontay Wilder believed his own Kool-Aid. He bought into his own hype. And I blame any of you fans for that. I do. I blame a lot of you fans for not being realistic with him and being delusional and just making everything about what somebody looks like and what you want to see versus telling him he needs to get in the lab. He needs to get better. He should have perfected it. At this stage in his career, he should have at least perfected the jab. With his reach, he should at least perfected the jab. I'd venture to say if his jab was legit, if he had a jab like Lennox Lewis or Ali, if his jab was legit, that he couldn't have been beat. But he relied on that right hand. To whom much is given, that much more is required. Yeah, so you saw it, and it's pretty much it was disgusting. I mean, again, you can see he hasn't learned anything. And he, at this stage in the game, he's not going to learn anything. He really fights flat-footed. He doesn't really know how to pivot well. He's not on the balls of his feet. He's just a very bad boxer, but he can hit hard. He has one punch. He stands straight up. Like he's a dream for a boxer. Like a person that can really box, they're gonna say, I'm gonna knock him out because he's just poor defense, poor footwork, just standing flat-footed, throwing wild punches, just, you know, he doesn't have a strong base, always off balance. He's the dream for a skilled boxer. But I think today's title is, Dear Deontay Wilder, you have nothing left to prove. And you don't. I think that he's reached his peak. I mean, he's exhausted what a one-trick pony can do. I do believe that. What else can he do? He's been a heavyweight champion. He's been feared. He'll go down in history. What more can he do? He's not going to beat a skilled boxer. Now, it's possible for him to catch somebody slipping and knock him out, but no, I doubt it. Let's look at him in the Olympics. This is him in the Olympics. And as you can see, you know, just, again, wiry, long, athletic, strong. Just a fighter. He has heart. So you got to think he was blessed with a great combination of things to have as a fighter. Strength, stamina, heart, dedication, like just tenacity, fearlessness, like all of these things. But you're going to rely on your talent for so long. In basketball too, but boxing is really a thinking man's sport. It truly is. You got to be able to think out there because punches are flying. You're competing with the fighter. You're competing against his corner. You're competing with your own mind. Like you're competing with the time. You're competing with your stamina. It's a lot that goes into a boxing match. And so Deontay Wilder never really developed, as you can see, his skill. He just didn't because he had that right hand. I mean, that right hand, imagine you fighting somebody, the average person you fight, and they're all timid because you have a right hand you can knock them out with. That changes, that gives you overconfidence because you're thinking this is organic and it's not. These people are spending most of the time avoiding a punch, but you still got to know how to box because when the punch isn't working and you can't land it, then what are you going to do? Because that's the problem. The problem is what happens when you can't land the punch? You got to be able to box. And so, man, this is him in the Olympics, still the same form, same flat-footed, off balance, throwing wild punches, still strong. Yeah, this is basically Deontay Wilder. But he should retire. It's over. That fight he had with that tomato can, that great value tomato can, Tyrell Herndon, is disgusting. But this is what this next clip is what thrusted Deontay Wilder into the hearts of most of you fans. You all believe that he was fighting on behalf of Black people when he was in the ring. He even called himself the Bronze Bomber, is a tribute to the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis. But he basically put into the minds of people that he's fighting for Black people. And so that's how he became so enamored in the sports world. The problem with that is that fans aren't really realistic. And so fans base his boxing on how they feel about his fight or struggle for Black people. Fans were not honest with him. You go to the comments on the videos, they lied to him constantly. Nobody was telling him to get in the lab and develop as a fighter, develop as a boxer. Everybody was telling him it was racism. White people hate you. You're fighting for us. Just all kind of nonsense. In the end, he's going to suffer because he believed you all. He listened to you all. And look where it got him. Let's continue.
Try to bait and not know what.
You said that your people have been fighting for 400 years.
Man, your people's too.
So I just want you to explain what you mean by that.
You know what I'm talking about. Y'all all know what I'm talking about, man. Don't sit up here and try to bait and not know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what the fuck I talk about when I say these things. Your people too.
Explain it. Not everybody knows what you're talking about.
Radio Raheem, I don't have to explain what's understood, man. You know what I mean by that. You know what I said by that. I ain't got to go further. And if anybody don't understand that, then God be with them. Go look up the history. Go look up the history. Shit, don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit. See what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man. You know what. I dare you to sit up there and say, explain. You know what I'm talking about, man. He's fighting people. You know we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day.
And ironically enough, this is what Deontay Wilder is most known for. Think about it. This is the most popular clip of him is this. And it's funny because the reporter was asking him to elaborate on a quote that he said, which is what all reporters do. Reporters can't interject themselves into reporting on something that you said. So he's asking you so it was a perfect time for him to elaborate on what he meant, but instead he chose to get mad at the reporter just doing his job, which is just crazy to me. But this is what got him famous. Not famous, I won't say that. This is what put him in the hearts of fans, this right here. And in actuality, this would also hurt him because you weren't really able to critique and judge him honestly and properly. And so therefore, fans weren't honest with him and he wasn't honest with himself. At the end of the day, Deontay Wilder went as far as he could as a one-trick pony. He was blessed with height, size, stamina, speed, a powerful punch, heart, everything. But you still got to go in the lab and work. You still got to develop into a great boxer. That's something he didn't do. I don't know if it was hard for him to pick it up. I don't know. I don't know. Is he hard to train? I don't know. I'm just saying that being in a sport this long and not getting any better is a problem. And it lets me know that pride got in the way. And then when he lost, the first thing he does is blame racism. The first thing he does is make excuses. Either it was they cheated for Tyson Fury, they wanted him to win, or my suit was too heavy, I was exhausted. It was just excuse after excuse after excuse. At the end of the day, I believe that we do athletes a disservice when we aren't honest with them. It's one thing to be a fan, but when you see glaring deficiencies in an athlete, you should be honest with them. Because athletes actually care about what fans say. Even though they say they don't, they do. So Deontay Wilder could have spent 5 years working on just his skill. He could have won in certain matches that he knew he could win and worked on his boxing game. I mean, I don't want to get into it, but Deontay Wilder, it's time to hang it up. He fought that great value tomato can, Tyrell Herndon, and it was a disgrace. To me, he did more harm doing that than he did just staying away from the sport, because now he wants to fight some big names, and honestly, who's going to want to fight him? How's he going to draw fans in? He looked terrible. Anyway, listen, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon. Thank you.